Drake's career and the shift that we have all been talking about that has been going on in hip-hop ever since Kendrick Lamar won the beef candidate. And now beyond really who are arguably the biggest artists out right now in not just Kendrick but also Bad Bunny and The Weeknd, if we look down the list and really figure out how era in the worst way possible, because aside from one song where Drake raps, the performances are just so devoid of anything that they are not even worthy of being talked about.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? What's going on? We're back with another banger. Yes sir. So if you're new here, hit that big red subscribe button and that like button. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers by the end of February. Today is February 17th, and at the time of this recording, we're at 136 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button and let's hit that 200 subscriber goal by the end of this month. That being said, today's video we got why Drake is crashing out because his album is flopping bad. This video just dropped by Fantastic Hip Hop 3 hours ago, so we're here, y'all know. Let's see what Fantastic Hip Hop has to say about Drake, man. Y'all know he hates Drake, bruh. Let's get it.
Drake, OVO, and all of their fans may have thought they were so up when SSS for You dropped. What has now become clear is that as the streaming numbers are coming in for this record and we are seeing how this thing is performing, that despite people initially lining up to hear the return of Drake when this came out, a lot of those people listened just to see how bad this record would be, as they have not stuck around for repeat listens, because when it comes to how Drake's SSS for You album is performing, it is way below what anyone would have projected, and because of this, Drake, Party Next Door, and everyone around them is spiraling, because they never thought they would see a day where their music is doing so bad. And now before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and just as I said in my last video, the Drake fans are still very mad at me because they don't want you to hear the truth I'm about to tell, so please be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It helps me out a ton and it is more needed than ever. And so now when it comes
subscribe button, we're trying to hit that goal.
SSS for You, beyond hip-hop or anyone else's opinion for that matter, when it comes to the fall-off that we have seen in Drake's career and the shift that we have all been talking about that has been going on in hip-hop ever since Kendrick Lamar won the beef, there is no debating what's actually happening anymore, because we now have numbers to truly see how this album from Drake is doing. And when it comes to those, they are genuinely just terrible, because compared to every single Drake album since the last decade, this project didn't just have the worst first day streams by far, but only a little over 56 million. But compared to the last Drake album, For All the Dogs, which had 108 million opening day streams, that's almost a 50% decrease in the amount of people who listen to this new album.
Hold on now. Do y'all think Kendrick's really done made this nigga fall off? You're telling me you fell off 50% than your last album? Oh, nigga, I know that hurt you. I know that hurt your ego so bad. One, you got Kendrick walked up on the Grammys with 5 Grammy awards for one diss song about you. That you told this nigga he was going to get Grammys for. Don't forget. Then, hold on, I got some in my eye. Then, you feel me? This nigga performs at the Super Bowl diss song about you, right? Then you decide to drop the same time as this nigga's at the Super Bowl, and you expected this shit to do numbers. I told y'all 3 videos now, bro. This nigga shouldn't have done this, and look, the proof's in the pudding, bro.
And I mean, no matter what you try to say about this,
like, you just don't do it, bro.
It's
not smart.
This is just terrible. And
this
what is so
PR
funny
team
is
should have
that
told him
after
something.
Drake tried to use these same number games on his diss tracks to dismiss Kendrick from being on his level, and overall from trying to prevent himself from ever being rivaled by anyone, he has now lost this game so much, because not just right now is Kendrick Lamar's music, which has been out for months, still outperforming all of the new songs from this Drake album, because when you look at Not Like Us and Luther, they are still comfortably doing better than this entire new album from Drake, and even with 21 new songs out from it, Luther is still projected to take that #1 spot on the charts over every single one of them, which between this being a Kendrick song, and of course because it's a melodic driven one that does such a better job at being an R&B song than anything on Drake's new record, it's really just so funny that this is the song specifically that is finally going to become a #1 record right now when Drake is competing with it in so many different ways. And from this to the fact that with over double the catalog size and a new album out, Kendrick Lamar is still outstreaming Drake, and he is just breaking all of his records, which is gonna end up giving him the ultimate title you can get in this era, as Kendrick Lamar will be the first rapper to ever reach over 100 million monthly listeners. And just the fact that Kendrick has never compromised his integrity to do this, and he now has almost over 20 million more monthly listeners than Drake has ever had in his peak, I mean, that is just surreal. And whether you want to talk about quality, impact, or just resort to numbers, Kendrick is really the greatest in any way you want to put it. And to quote Kendrick Lamar in his Super Bowl performance, what this is all showing is that
if we're going to talk about numbers right now, like, we're going to talk about numbers, and I get just bars, Kendrick is blowing this nigga Drake out the water. Like, I'm talking bad, nigga. I'm talking about, if you ever seen a team get blown out 0, I mean like 100-0, nigga, this is the first time you probably ever seen it. Like, this nigga Drake is going down bad in history in 2025.
No matter how Drake and his people try to rig the game, they just can't fake that influence. And now,
can't
even
fake
if all
it,
of his
bro.
Drake
Can't
fans
fake
want
it.
to admit that Kendrick Lamar is winning too much and that nobody can compete with him off of the momentum of the Super Bowl, I mean, even beyond the current king of rap, this album is still flopping when you go down the list of top artists right now, as again, from big names who just dropped like Bad.
Alright, y'all, we are back. Camera overheated once again, but we're back into it. Let's get it.
Bad Bunny, who is still outstreaming Drake.
Shit, while the camera was down, I had to roll up me
like
some
The Weeknd,
Zap
who made
real
sure
quick.
to let the world know that his new album,
Lock
Hurry
in.
Up Tomorrow, still had the biggest streaming debut of the year so far over Drake and Party's project, which once again is just showing how beyond Drake and Kendrick, Drake is losing to so many other artists right now who he tried to diss, and when you compare Hurry Up Tomorrow, which is an amazing record, to SS For You, I mean, it's no surprise why this thing outperformed Drake's, because in every single aspect possible, this R&B album is an early Album of the Year candidate. And now, beyond really who are arguably the biggest artists out right now in not just Kendrick, but also Bad Bunny and The Weeknd, if we look down the list and really figure out how bad Drake is doing even more, his numbers are not just down for his own standards or when you compare them to the biggest stars out. But now so many other rappers and the recent work they have released has passed him by far, as compared to a record like Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia even.
Yeah, I haven't reacted to Tyler's album yet, or even, I don't know if it's an album or just a single, but we're going to react to that one as well, bro. I got to catch up. I've been trying to catch up all week. We're going crazy with your reactions today. I'm literally been going from morning, I'm going all the way to 4 p.m., so I got 3 more hours worth of filming. So let's get it.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these big...
That record opened up with over 80 million streams on its first day, and with only 14
80 million
songs
streams
compared to
on the
Drake's
first day
21,
is
which
insane.
makes a huge difference, as the whole idea behind making an album this long is to make sure those streaming numbers stay high up in the first place. And even despite how now multiple West Coast rappers have Drake wiped down as from the quality to the impact, and again, the thing Drake has always claimed, which are the numbers, even Tyler is winning against him in every single category now. Even beyond this, if we compare Drake to rappers who are decades into their career...
Hold on, Fantastic Hip Hop. Don't try to, you got to give Tyler his flowers too, because we've been seeing a new Tyler the Creator this year. You feel me? This nigga really been rapping this year. You feel me? So, come on, we got to give him his flowers too.
Here's like Eminem. His last album outperformed this Drake and Party record, and even funnier than this, and just
Eminem's gonna outperform all these niggas. What the fuck?
Drake has reached. If
all he gotta do is drop.
Album to another collab,
Eminem's always a goat.
Which had no
one's going
support
against
from
that
the
nigga.
industry and was actively being prevented from staying on the charts and performing well. That still ended up outperforming this record from Drake and Party, and it did so for multiple days. And so really just putting into perspective how bad this album is doing. As the second day streams for this record were even worse as they decreased and were now in the 30 millions, it is showing just...
Bro, like I said, this nigga was at, I think he said 80 million streams. No. Well, yeah, 80 million streams or something like that. Then this nigga dropped to 50 million streams. Then it dropped to 30 million streams. When you're used to getting 100 million streams an album, to drop to 30%, nigga, 70% of your shit dropped? Oh, nigga. I know you're feeling it. The label is laughing at you because you try to sue them. Oh, man. Drake, it is not looking good for you right now, my boy.
how bad all of this is going, especially
It's not looking good for Drake
that
right
a
now.
record like GNX actually increased in streams on day 2 and got over 74 million. And so overall, what we can see clearly is that Drake is no longer competing with the top rappers and artists in general. And even compared to legacy acts, no matter where they stand,
that nigga Drake competing with himself now.
Them. And so overall, when you actually find albums that Drake's can stand next to in terms of their performance, he is now off the A-list or any top list that you can put together of the biggest acts in music. Because when you consider that the album already on day 2 is now doing this low, and Kendrick Lamar's old music is still outstreaming it with ease, because really, GNX currently, which is so deep into its release, is still doing more than this.
72.5 million streams.
Everybody talks about it and tunes in because they're interested. What we are seeing from this is that Drake is really at a point where there is just no interest in actually listening to what he has put out, maybe beyond a quick first run through. And I mean, even compared to other albums that we have talked about that have came and went, when it comes to SSS For You, this album is just bad and really in this era in the worst way possible, because aside from one song where Drake raps, the performances are just so devoid of anything that they are not even worthy of being talked about because they are so forgettable. And I mean, when it comes to Drake trying to put out a record in this time that can compete with everything in the industry, even for his new standards where the bar has already been so low, deciding to make a record with this boring of music, especially after coming off the Kendrick beef, was one of the worst choices he could have possibly made, because really the only difference between this album and For All the Dogs is that while both are terrible, at least on For All the Dogs, for the purpose of
trying to tell y'all, he does not like Drake.
Talk about it, from the features to all of the disses and along with all of the other things he was doing. While the music was not good, Drake at least knew how to make conversation about his music no matter how good or bad it was, but here, the music is just so lackluster that beyond saying that and looking at its impact and effect on Drake's career...
That's what I've been saying, low-key, bro. It's like ever since Kendrick dissed this nigga, it fucked up his mental, bro. It's like the old Drake is not even in there no more. Like this nigga can't even put hits together no more. Like he don't know what to do type. You feel me? Like this shit's crazy, bro. He needs to find himself.
Career like we are now, there is just nothing to actually make you think and talk about the greater portion of the music as a whole. And so with all of this, it's truly wild to say, but it's looking like Drake's run and everything he has ever represented really is over, because he just doesn't even have the ability anymore to make the masses want to listen to his music, because even compared to someone like SZA and the Lana Deluxe she put out for SOS, even a deluxe of an album that dropped years ago was able to outperform how this record did. And now with Drake losing to every single person pretty much who ever tried to create a problem with him, it's really just so telling about the moment we are at as a whole. And now as this record really has no popular songs so far, and again, the only conversations being had about it is how the Drake era is over and how bad and boring the record is, and there is nothing further going on, when more numbers for this album come out and we start to see how this thing ages, I am sure it's all going to get even more terrible. And while Drake fans and OVO are definitely going to try to deny the reality we are seeing, and they will make their same old excuses to defend the guy, which we are already starting to see, and with the narratives that are trying to get pushed, it really is just as bad of a way of taking an L as we saw when Drake lost to Kendrick but did not want to admit it with The Hard Part 6. And so all in all, when it comes to the failure of this project, and really, I mean, if you compare this release to when GNX came out, if you're really into hip-hop and music, you can tell the difference of when an actual album comes out that commands the attention of everyone in this era, and when something as ridiculous and forgettable as SSS For You does. And so overall, while Drake fans are going to deny just how bad the...
We know the difference between a hype song, and we know the difference between a actual, real, good song. You feel me? That's the difference between these two, and now you can really show it live and show people proof. Nigga, oh... There's no proof to that facts? Well, look at Kendrick and look at Drake. Look at this nigga's album, look at this nigga's album. Look at this nigga's single, look at this nigga's single. Match numbers together, and it's only going to show you the proofs in the pudding, bro. This is crazy. Let's finish off the rest of this.
Downfall of Drake is in this time, and they will continue to make every other excuse for him than just admitting that the music is lackluster. Right now, we are currently seeing, and we'll only see more, that with this album, it's not just going to be the biggest flop of Drake's entire career, but it's going to be one of the biggest moments in hip-hop and music history in terms of when everybody realized for good that an artist's run is over. And so now with all that said, let me know. What do you think of the numbers Drake has ended up doing with this record? Are you surprised by how bad they are? And what do you think is going to come of this as we see just how terrible this all really is? And now...
Yeah, man. Personally, bro, y'all let me know how y'all feeling. How y'all think... Can Drake come back from this? Me, personally... I think right now, since you got knocked off the A-list, bro, just by your numbers, my nigga, you're gonna have to find some other people that are really already doing numbers that are fucking with you and start doing collabs, nigga, to really get your name back there. To really be like, oh, niggas, oh, Drake's making some hard shit again. Like, what? Oh, okay, he's featured with this nigga. Let's listen to this. You feel me? But other than that, if you're gonna keep doing shit like this, nigga, you're gonna continue flopping. Your numbers are gonna continue going down. And niggas, you're about to become a meme, Drake. Like, real fucking shit. You're about to become a meme. You might as well either retire, my nigga, or just go on a little break. That being said, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this down below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.